Okay, sir. Uh, we'll start off. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. We are live today. And people have written to us on our mail IDs. Resha Bahir has asked, sir, how to overcome sensitive mind. I have seen that you remain stable in every situation, but that is not his case. So, how to overcome the sensitive mind?
That means the the individual asking the question is wanting that he should become thick-skinned and should not be overly sensitive to what is happening around him. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You see, this is a question which is relevant, but it is what you can say is okay. Let me take an example, and I will explain from that, and I will explain also the development of proactive nature, which is an important quality through which we can improve upon such things. See, I will take the example, a very famous example, in a football World Cup final when Zidane was the captain of France and they were playing against Italy, and Zidane was the main player, and France depended upon him to win the World Cup. And France had a chance of winning the World Cup. I also felt that they were the favorites. Now, what happened in that match? Materazzi of Italy, he made some comments which came out through media and all that, but nobody could hear when the match was on, which infuriated Zidane so much that he headbutted Materazzi and he fell down. And Zidane was given the card and he was out of the match. And this is exactly what the entire Italian team and entire Italy at that time wanted, because football is a very passionate thing for all these people. So this was and what I can say, emotional conduct or overly sensitive behavior by Zidane. So this is what he did. And we can also relate it to our lives. Sometimes, we do such things. Somebody at home also does something, you get annoyed in school, college, sports field. Such things you keep seeing happening. We saw it happen, I remember, very close at hand once again in a hockey match. There were players like Zafar Iqbal, Romeo James, who I have known. They're somewhat my counterparts in age. And they had, in a tournament in Bangladesh, they got annoyed. And they beat up the referee. And as a result, their careers got over. International careers got over. Such a thing happened to them. So, what we should do in such conditions. I mean, an irritating stimulus has come in the form of Materazzi, in the form of perceived poor judgment, or whatever XYZ things can happen. So you can understand. Now, when we go wrong is that when we take decisions based on instinct and emotions. What's the emotional urges, we do that. If we would calm our minds down and we don't respond straight away, we think as to what rationally should be the correct thing to do. And we get that answer and then act. Then what will happen is your response would be a rational response. And this is very essential to the development of proactive nature, because the other behavior is something which has been elicited by the person. Like Materazzi, it was his desire to get Zidane out of the match, and they had planned that if he does something like this is what Zidane will do. If Zidane had been proactive, then he should have analyzed quickly that at the moment, for him, the important thing to do is to focus on winning the World Cup for France. And sorting out Materazzi is a very small thing, whatever comments he has made, and those things would have been sorted out later in a very different manner. In fact, had he thought about it coolly, would have been an insignificant thing about which he could have just forgotten about. So this is what you can do. And this is what all of us should do. This is a very important step in the development of proactive nature. And that is when the stimulus comes, don't emotionally respond, think rationally and then respond. This would be a proactive response, whereas the former response is reactive, which is instinctive and things like that. So if you keep doing that, then over a period of time, then this will become part of your nature. So this overly sensitive behavior and all that will get controlled. And like things like anger, violence, and all that often happen because of that. So this is what my suggestion to you is. We have talked about this in our book also, in the development of proactive nature. It is there, no, Yogita?
Yes, it's there.
Yeah, fine. So not only this, there are various other things which are about personality-related issues, which you can read, understand, and habits you can inculcate. Thank you very much.
Uh, Old monk, anonymous person has asked, Sir, I'm Himanshu. I'm conference. In the conference, one of the assistants asked a guy 10 uses of water in a glass which was there in a room, and he started answering. But he stopped him with 6 uses or so, and the guy left. But he got conference out. My question is, what do they know of personality of an individual by such questions?
10 uses of bottle.
Water.
Water.
Pani. Water
Okay.
in a glass.
See, by this question, what I can assess is that the aim of the assessors was to check the speed of decision making of the candidate, as also how much he can think on his feet in a stressful condition, because conference is a stressful situation for a candidate where there's so many assessors sitting, and environment, big hall and all that, he's sitting a center of attention, is a little bit intimidating. And also the practical sense of the individual. In the OLQ terms, we call it effective intelligence. So there would have been some doubts about this aspect, or rather, I would not say doubts. There would have been some differences in the assessment. There would be a lack of congruency among the assessors as far as some of these qualities or one of these qualities is concerned. That is why this kind of question got posed, and thereafter, whatever answer the person gave, the assessors would have been able to settle their, query as far as the candidate is concerned, and would have come to a consensus assessment. because the assessment always has to be arrived at by consensus. We do not have, like in judgments, you will have a 3-2 verdict and all. That's not like that. We always decide by consensus. We take views of each other and then we arrive at a consensus. Uh, okay, this I have given this explanation. One important thing I would like to tell you, people, at the expense of repetition, I keep repeating these things again and again. These things should not be of great concern. They are not going to determine your success or failure. What is going to determine your success at SSB is focusing on self-improvement and not this one question answer, some other thing answer, and all that. Initially, when I started doing this work, I used to find a lot of students posing to me situations as if, one situation, सांप आ गया ऐसे में तो क्या करेंगे, ये हो गया तो क्या करेंगे, as if ये जो है कोई एकदम ये ट्रिकी टाइप सिचुएशन जो है, इनका आंसर जो है सब मैजिक आंसर्स get you selected. It doesn't happen that way. You get selected based on your overall abilities, and that is what you should focus upon. And that is what always in No Frills Academy we keep guiding our students, and that has got them success. Not this, one answer to one situation and conference में ऐसा हो गया, situation reaction test में ऐसा हो गया. Fine, yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir. Sir, Mahinandan Mission has asked, sir, I have a question. If we are not doing a job after engineering and we are preparing for CDS or a CAPF examination, then will the interviewing officer take it in a wrong way? Because it will it cost our non-recommendation? How will the IO judge us on this?
Okay, fine. This is a very relevant question, and I keep talking about it regularly. And I advise all my students and all those who follow our channel would be reasonably aware that once you have a qualification which renders you suitable to work for your family and the society, you should start doing that. Because if you are not doing that, it is an evidence that you are not being responsible enough towards your family and the society. So this is a fact of life. Now, each individual situation may vary. Somebody, for whatever reasons, the person is not working, but preparing for IAS or some other examinations, some but CAT and other things people do. It is not that all of these persons would get rejected. If they have been utilizing their time well enough and it is suiting the needs of their family quite well, then maybe this act of theirs has got reasonable justification. But broadly speaking, in general terms, I would not advise any individual that after he or she has done her engineering, got her engineering degree, that he or she keeps sitting at home and is taking time out to prepare for examinations like CDS, AFCAT, CAPF, and so on. The major reason is that these examinations can be cleared very well while you are working as well. And any aspirant who clears these examinations while he or she is working and earning is gaining more confidence, is developing his or her personality better, gaining more confidence, and by clearing that examination is displaying overall competence of a higher level than a person who is unable to work and devote total amount of his time to clear these examinations, which should be cleared when a person is a working professional as well. And I have had numerous students who have been clearing these examinations while they have been working also. So, broad answer remains is that as soon as you have got the BE BTech degree, take up campus placement or from out of campus placement, start working at the earliest. Do not waste time in preparing for these examinations, because we treat it as irresponsible behavior. And the outlook which I am explaining to you is likely to be the outlook of any interviewing officer in the selection system, because I have been an interviewing officer myself. Thank you very much.
Kirti Talian has asked, Sir, right now I am in 11th standard and I want to crack NDA and SSB. On what should I focus on, and how should I improve my English?
About English improvement, it is there. We have on our YouTube channel. I have written about it on our website. In our book also, I have covered about English improvement. It is very important. There is nothing very secretive about English improvement. You have to read more, you have to write more, you have to speak. All these three things you will have to do to build up your competence and build up your confidence, both things. So that is as far as English is concerned. Overall speaking, see, clearing the NDA written examination or getting recommended by SSB is not a very big deal. I have written about it in our blogs of improvement of OLQs. I have given it in our book. You can buy our book, read and understand the things well, apply them in your practical life. Broadly speaking, for you, when you are in 11th class, you should take care of some of the things which I will enumerate now. First is that get clarity in understanding your maths, physics, and chemistry. About English, I have already spoken. Clarity is more important rather than the marks you are scoring. If you get clarity, I'm confident that you will be able to clear the written examination of NDA. Once you, in other than the clarity part, you improve your general knowledge also, which for the NDA examination is not more than 1 month's job. Get used to listening to the news or reading newspaper editorials, major important things. Do that, get clarity in your academics, be clear about your English. So you will be able to pass the NDA written examination. The other thing will happen is after the written examination for the SSB perspective, physical fitness would also come into play. And this is something which cannot be improved suddenly. You can't do it in a matter of a month or so. So it would be good that if you start pursuing some sport which involve physical activity, or if you are not into sport, which generally I find that 11, 12, even parents do not encourage children from playing sports. So you start exercising on a regular basis, do running, do strength exercises. Broadly, I can say if you can meet the following standards, which I'll just enumerate, that if you can run 5 kilometers in, say, 25 minutes, you can do 40 push-ups, you can do 10, 12 chin-ups, and you can do 40 sit-ups, then you would be fairly okay as far as the physical aspects to get selected are concerned. So this is what it is, the recipe for preparation. No coaching or any such thing is required. Just do these things and you would be on the right track to get selected. Thank you.
Samarth Kapadi, this question has already been answered by sir. The first, how to clear it in the first attempt itself. Okay. Samarth Singh has asked, I used to be in the company of bad people, but after realizing that I have wasted a lot of time with my friends, I have started working on it. But my social life is almost zero, and I feel very low. What to do?
Okay, fine. This is an interesting question, and it's a very relevant thing which happens. Firstly, there is nothing like bad company. People become good or bad because of their own conduct. Fine. So, blaming company for our behavior or conduct is a wrong attitude. Please read our essay on attribution theory. And if you take our book, you can not only read this, you can read other things also of personality development. So when we attribute our behavior to someone else, like I find a lot of people they say कि हमारा स्कूल में माहौल ही ऐसा था, टीचर्स क्लियर नहीं थे, अंग्रेजी कोई बोल नहीं सकता था. Well, it has some validity. Like if a Britisher is compared as far as with you is you are compared with a Britisher who has grown up in an environment where he or she is speaking English at home, school, everywhere. So that person will definitely be more comfortable in English. However, today this is information age, and it's a late stage of information age. And with the cheap data available in India, practically all of us have got access to the internet and a lot of information. So all kinds of information is available. So you just have to have the energy to work and improve upon yourself. So first thing is that you don't have to bring your social life to zero. You have to decide as to what your goals are. And if your goals determine that you should not be socializing or you can hanging out as the term you people use with your friends. So more than 3-4 hours in a week, then that is what you should do. Just to become popular with your friends or companions. I may not use the word friends also. If they keep hanging out and wasting their time 3-4 hours per day, and you realize that if you do that, then you will become a washout in your life and you will not be able to get success in any kind of career that you are visualizing for yourself. Then you have to do that. You will have to make your plan and work accordingly. And probably what may happen is that your outlook and your sense of focus towards your career, your academics, your physical fitness, general awareness, these things may have a very positive influence on your colleagues as well. So don't call them as bad company. They are young people. They are working more, getting more controlled by their instincts and emotions rather than rational thinking. Whereas you are trying to stabilize your life based on rationally arrived at decisions. And you are chalking out a daily routine for yourself in which you cannot afford to do these things, which is the right thing. So it will be good for them as well. And your social life should not be zero. Nobody should make his or her social life zero. You should get along with people. It is a very important aspect of growth. of you as a person, as an individual, because man is a social animal. That is long back Aristotle had said. So these things are not going to change. You cannot get cut off from the society, and you should not also. But at the same time, you should not waste your time. You should utilize it in a sensible manner, because only then will you be able to achieve the goals you have set for yourself. And that would be goals in terms of academics, in terms of physical aspects also. You would see all sportsmen who have their targets, they're very disciplined, even not just their time for training and all that. They're very disciplined about what they eat also. They can't afford to eat a lot of junk food and all, because then their performance will degrade and they will not be competing at the desired level. So this is what you have to do. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Last question we will take. Just exploring, anonymous person has asked. Sir, this is my first as well as last attempt, as I was not aware of the exam, aware of AFCAT also earlier. Will it be a negative point? My SSB is on 29th of August. Please give some suggestions.
See, 29th August is not very far off, so there is not much you can do now other than improving your general awareness and knowledge of the service which you have opted for. So brush up on these things and think that, when we think that we have got inadequacies, then we are causing problems for ourselves. For whatever reasons, you were not aware, you were not interested, motivation lacking, whatever it could be, XYZ reasons can be there. Whatever the reasons are, accept them and accept them openly. I mean, when the interviewing officer asks you, you tell them that this is what happened. For these reasons, you were not motivated enough, you did not search, you did not know. Whatever is there, you state. But when you are going for your SSB, please go convinced that you are fit for selection. Because when you yourself are having doubts whether you are fit or not, then naturally how will the assessor feel that you are fit enough? Because confidence is one very important facet of a selection criteria. So, person who is lacking self-belief will unlikely to get selected. So do not have these self-doubts, bring about this little bit of improvement. And in the overall context of life, see whatever preparation you do now to effect little improvement which you feel in your being more organized in your life, focusing on general awareness and whatever else that you may do. These changes are for your betterment in the long run. Please imbibe these habits and for the long run, not just for short, 10, 15 days. So that will do you good in life. So don't take it that it is something negative. You are artificially, changing, altering your lifestyle for SSB. Take it that is a positive step. And also, even if you don't clear SSB, it's not such a big deal. You have got chances of getting through the territorial army. And I mean, life is a long run. All these improvements will help you in your career, whatever you will do. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir. We will meet next time. We'll wind up for now. And please write to us your queries at nofrillsacademy@gmail.com.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.